Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's Risk on Sports. We've got Jason Bartholomew in the house. Randy's with us. We're going to cover baseball. That's up next. Hey, Jason, it's Todd. It's the 23rd episode of Risk on Sports. Jason's back in Vegas. I'm in Phoenix. Randy's in the house, in the studio. Jason's holding down the fort back at the homeland. Jason, what's up? What happened yesterday? What's going on with you as I watch the stock market sell off to the single worst day we've ever had? What's happening with you?
Randy's not in the house. He said there wasn't much to talk about, so we're going to be focusing on baseball. Yesterday, the Baltimore Orioles crushed our dreams. We were set to have a 2-2 straight pick record, but we were going to win the parlay. However, Cesar Valdez, the somewhat, well, I don't even know if you want to call him a closer, he came in and just, there's no gas shortage on that field. There's some gas shortages around the country, but he lit that fire, and the Mets just got 2 runs in the 9th and blew up our parlay, blew up our day. We took our third losing day of May. It is May 12th. We are now in the month of May. We've had 3 losing days, and we've had 5 winning days. The winning days have been pretty good size, so we're still doing pretty well in May. And, we'll have some picks for today. How about you, Todd? What's going on?
I'm watching a brutal market on the stock side, The stocks right now are making baseball betting look less risky. As you see the market selling off because of inflation.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
I'm a little perplexed, but kind of saw it coming as we talked about. Kind of thought this was going to happen. Getting ready for Indianapolis. Looking forward to that. What kind of games we have on the parlay today? What's up on the agenda? How many games today?
We've got. Currently, I definitely have 3 picks. We're going with Oakland A's have a first-rounder coming out of UCLA. He's making his Major League debut today. So we're going to take the Oakland A's. They're taking on the Red Sox. It's going to be a tough challenge. Well, we're just going to bet the A's for the first 5 innings. I'll be sending this pick out, and we're going to take the under 5.5 runs for the first 5 innings as well. So look for that kid to see a little bit of nerves early on, but I think if he gets past the first inning, he'll be just fine. James Capri-Leon and Eduardo Rodriguez, the lefty out of Boston. So we've got that game, and then we got a parlay with the Brewers and the Yankees. Pretty straightforward. That'll be in play also. So, those 3 picks right now. On the year, currently, 48 wins, 45 losses, 19 and 63 on the parlays. I try to say that without laughing. We're up 24-35 from a 1,200 bankroll. We're at 36-35. We took a loss yesterday of 264. It could have very easily been a winner of 200 had Cesar Valdez not come in and thrown 78-mile-an-hour changeups every pitch and just watch the ball get sprayed all over the field. What a nightmare.
You got the Red Sox in first place at 22-15. You got the White Sox in first place at 20-13. The Athletics on the West in 22-15. So that's a pretty interesting matchup between the Red Sox and the White Sox, or Red Sox and the Oakland today for sure. That's interesting. Any standouts? I look at the Mets in first place, but they're barely kind of hanging on there.
The Yankees are surging. Garrett Cole's on the mound tonight. He's a stud. It's high juice. You would have to bet, just for an example, you'd have to bet 200 to win 100 if you bet the Yankees straight up. I don't like those odds. We're going to put the Yankees with the Brewers. They got Woodruff on the mound. And we're going to try to get about plus 1.5 or 175 our money instead of paying 2 to get 1. So, that's the plan for tonight. As far as
with the Cardinals, though, Cardinals are in first place.
Yeah, Cardinals are solid.
And the Giants are ahead of the Dodgers, too. So this is an interesting time. Jason, when do you feel like when you're sort of into the season, when do you feel like, okay, now I've kind of got my stride? I know that you told me in the beginning months, usually it takes some time. How much longer before you feel like you think you've gotten your stride in terms of where you'll take those bets up a little bit from maybe 1 unit to more?
Yeah, we're getting there, actually. That's a good question. We might start moving our bets up after probably, I would say probably June 1st. We're going to really look at it hard. Possibly move, instead of 1 unit, we'll bet 2 units. And then instead of a half a unit on the parlays, we might bet 1 unit on the parlays. And then, of course, if we go with some of these crazier high risk, high reward, like small buy-in, high reward opportunities, those would be like a quarter unit. So those would be very small buy-in with a chance to win something big. So be on the lookout for those. We haven't really attacked those lately. After I missed one by 1 pick, I kind of got a little sour taste in my mouth. But we'll get back to those.
Hey, so we track all of the records of Jason betting. We keep every single ticket. And coming up in July 1st, we're going to publish the first April, May, June, and July results. We're going to publish those 3 months results. We're actually going to be able to see the tickets and see everything he bet. It'll be audited. There'll be a report of how he did on this. And then we'll watch and track the second half. You can watch the difference in Jason's average bet, where he tends to bet, the team he tends to bet the most, the type of bet he likes to make. You'll get a better understanding with Jason, because we believe long-term Jason will turn out to be one of the best handicappers around in baseball. He is not out there flamboyant, calling these big picks, saying whale picks. He's a consistent, let's get to first base, let's get to second base, let's bet every day the good games, the quality games, the underdogs, where he can consistently win, but effectively maybe not always have a winning record when it comes to total teams, but betting smart with payoffs. We're sort of challenging that for the first year. Normal people would pay for services like this. They'd pay for picks, and Jason ultimately will have that advisory service under his belt. But we want to publish the record. We want to be transparent. It'll be an interesting experiment for Jason. Jason, what do you think about what we're doing here in terms of the way you're doing this every single day?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a grind, but you have to, like last night was frustrating. A few bad pitches by a mediocre pitcher cost us, a winning night. But you just got to get back to it. Baseball's every single day. We got the Oakland A's today, plus 150, so that's good. And, we've got the parlay that should pay about 1.75 to 1. And then we've got the under that pays about even money. So we're just going to keep plugging along, and we'll let the results speak for themselves. And then we'll go from there.
An important thing to remember, you got to text ROS, Risk on Sports, Robert, Oscar, Sam, to 949-799-1831, 949-799-1831. And Jason will send you his picks directly to your phone, and you'll be able to see exactly what Jason's doing all the time. Obviously, keep track of that, because sometimes Jason will change his mind, find a different game, and he'll add on to that service. And right now, that's free for you. You can just sign up and bet along with Jason. And text him back and let him know you're betting with him. He wants to hear what you're doing, what your thoughts are. If you got any questions for Jason, you can text to that number a question for Jason, and we'll respond back to you pretty quickly. Usually within 30 minutes or so, we'll respond back to you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jason, as you know, I'm obviously at a board retreat, which ends tomorrow morning, and I'll be headed back to Nevada. But I appreciate you holding down the fort here, guys. I'm going to let Jason round out the show. It's going to be a shortened show today. Jason will talk to you about his picks, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully at kind of a normal environment, Jason. I don't know what time we'll be back there, but Jason, a little tip to you. I am meeting, I'll tell you privately. I have an interesting breakfast tomorrow. I wish you were going to be here for this. It involves the gun industry, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I got an idea now. You're in Arizona, so that gives
there you go. There you go. Hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Obviously, Jason's going to take it from here. He's the star of the show when it comes to betting. Jason, anything you want to cover before I sign off?
Hey, I look forward to speaking with you at the 105 show. We got a lot to talk about, so anyone that's interested in the stock side, on the markets and the economy, just tune in and see us at 105 on the regular show.
It's a bloody day today. Ooh. We'll see you then, Jason.
All right, thanks a lot, Todd.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone, we got about 5 minutes left here. We may or may not use all of those 5 minutes, full disclosure. I am looking at a couple of other opportunities. I'm just kind of looking through the games every night after the last game's played. I generally like to focus on the next day's activities as far as the schedule and the pitching matchups. Generally speaking, the pitching matchups are announced the night before, minimum. Oftentimes, they'll release the series matchups because, generally speaking, teams play 3 or 4 game series or slates, and then they travel on to the next city, and then they repeat. So I'm just looking here at some of the later games, which are out here on the West Coast, and I see a couple of interesting opportunities. This kid from the Mariners, Justin Dunn, he's a right-hander. He's a power pitcher. He's taking on the Dodgers. The Dodgers got lucky yesterday. They squeaked out the win. But he's taking on Urias, the lefty from the Dodgers, who is he's inconsistent. He's got good stuff. But when I'm looking at the odds here, the line opened up at plus 200 for Seattle, betting 100 to win 200, 2-1 on your money. And it looks like a lot of the bettors have still piled money into the Dodgers. The line has moved to plus 220. Bet 100 to win 220 on Seattle. So I'm just looking at the matchup there, and then I'm going to be hopefully getting the lineup, a little bit early, and that'll help me make my decision. So be on the lookout. That might be a text a little bit later on where we would be leaning towards the Mariners side. We definitely aren't betting the Dodgers. It'll be a Seattle bet or no bet at all. So that one is, when you're offered plus 220 to bet, 100, you have to take a close look at it. In Major League Baseball, these underdogs, these plays are what put food on the table. So, yeah, keep an eye on that one. Also, the other one I'm looking at, and this is a great one. This is actually that one. Bad beat. That one already started. Matt Harvey is back in New York, and actually, New York put it to him 7-1. I'm just seeing this now. My apologies. Yeah, Harvey got shelled. So, yeah, that wasn't a good homecoming for Harvey. Pardon me on that one. As far as any other opportunities, let's look. I'm looking at the weather in a couple of spots, too, for some totals. There doesn't appear to be any crazy weather. Houston has a dome. They have some wind there, but I'll have to look and see if they're going to keep the stadium open there. If the stadium's open, it looks like there could be a case for the under there. Good wind blowing in, but if the dome is closed, then it really doesn't matter. Other than that, we're just going to stick to what we have. If I find anything else, there might be multiple texts today with a couple of additional picks, especially the Seattle Mariners game. So keep your eyes open for that. If you want to participate and see what I'm betting, you guys can all text 949-799-1831, text ROS, and you will be signed up for the picks. I think that's about it for today. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to keep this show short and sweet. Again, I did cover my record for the year to date. I will say it one more time, and then we'll close the show. Year to date, 48-45 on the straight picks. Now, remember, that's only 3 games above 500, but you have to consider that a lot of my bets are almost always underdogs. So that plus money comes into play often. And then the parlays, 19-63. Most of the times the parlays are paying 3 to 5 to 1, so that makes up the difference on the record. And a $2,435 up and $36.35 bankroll from a $1,200 starting bankroll on April 1st. Currently, we're 5-3 in May. We're looking good. And that's going to do it for us on Risk on Sports. Thanks for coming in and taking a look at our stuff. And we will be grinding back to it again tomorrow. Please tune in for the 105 show, Risk On. We're going to talk about the market. It's going to be really interesting. I appreciate everyone. And we will see you very soon. Thank you very much.
I'm hot. Jason, I don't know if you remember the